I can hear it. Can you
Little
hear it?
early morning dancing.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. Let me take a sip too. I made it, and I haven't drank any yet.
We are going live early this morning with some exciting news, but yes to taking a sip of caffeine first before we get in here and letting some of our viewers join us this morning.
Good morning,
Yes,
guys.
good morning.
Yes.
Mm. So here
So
we are, October 24th,
yes.
2023. We got some exciting news to share.
Yes. And if you guys do not know, if you have not been listening to the podcast recently, we've been telling you, oh, we have the authors coming, the Amazon bestsellers are on the way, and the authors are here. So we are officially launching volume 2 of Women Connected in Wisdom, Stories and Resources Rooted in the Eight Dimensions of Wellness. And it's been such a good time putting these stories together for you. A list of 12 authors. So if you know about volume 1, and I know our volume 1 readers have been waiting for this volume, we had 18, right? So now we have 12 authors. Some of us you know and love, some of them are going to be new. Again, if you listen to the podcast, you've heard some of their stories. And as always, in these conversations about the book, we're looking forward to going deeper, and we'll have lives and different events throughout the next couple of days for you guys on the different social media platforms. So stay tuned.
Right? So
Yeah.
many good stories and resources. I
Hmm.
was posting today on Instagram and talking about like how big of a year this has been for so many people, right? And really
Yes.
acknowledging the grief and gratitude, like that it's been a lot for us individually, us as a team. Almost every author has had, excuse me, y'all. I woke up with a little cold this morning, so I'm doing the best I can here with this hot tea. But
Yes.
you know, we've been working through it, right? We've been showing up and processing and working through it. And as we all do,
Yeah.
right? And that's part of what our podcast is about. It's part of how do we stay well,
Mhm.
or if we're not well, how do we get better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In the midst of living our very full lives,
Hmm.
right? With our families and caregiving and the world and our
Yeah.
communities. What does this look like, right?
Hmm. And I don't think that that's to be understated, right? The difference between volume 1 and volume 2, one thing I think about is everybody on the team having emergencies, you know? So
Right?
when we talk about, um, work and business and how do we take care of ourselves, part of it is you'll set up the system, right? And that's what my chapter is about. And you'll set the system up, and then people have emergencies, so now what do you do, and what does that look like from a human side, and you actually taking care of your team and those internal guests, right? And then how do you hold the standard so that your product still gets out, and or even if the timeline does wait, right, how do you communicate that and still take care of yourself and still rest? Like, it's possible, but it makes sense that that's a lot to do. And if it's been the first time, being able to be in community with different people who can, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? Ask questions. And if one person doesn't know the answer, you can take it to somebody else. If we don't know the answer together, we'll go find out. And that's the journey, to the goals and to the life that we're building that we want to see.
Absolutely. We have a couple of authors that are trying to get in, but our
Okay.
link is a little funky. So
Okay.
I'm working on that while you talk. So
I
you
got you.
talking about the different authors and
Yes.
who, because throughout the day we're going to be showing up. Actually,
Hmm.
before I do this, I want to share real quick. If you
Yes.
are watching us, where you can check this out. So today we are launching the Amazon bestseller campaign. So there it is in all that glory. Our
Yes.
author and designer Marla Durden did a beautiful job
Shout out
for
to
the
you, Marla.
couple of days. It will be on sale for $1.99 before it goes up to its full price. And this is so we can jump on and get it into as many hands as possible. So if you want to go check it out, we put the link in the comments. You can head over there. Know that you don't have to have a Kindle to buy it. You can
Right.
download a Kindle Cloud Reader for free. You can, yeah, there's all kinds of ways to do it, but this is the lowest price that it's going to be, so you want to grab it in the next day or two. All right, I'm going to get some of our authors in here while you tell them. Tell
Okay.
tell our audience about some of these authors.
Yes. So I told you guys that some of them you know and love, right? So again, Christine and I are going to be your lead authors. We'll be your lead narrators when you get the opportunity to listen to these audiobooks, and it's going to be beautiful the way everything's going to come out. So we are your lead authors. The other people that you know and love, Cecile Armstrong is talking about let your body be your guide, capacity and how to listen to your body so that when you're in that moment and, oh no, I set the system up and a team member has an emergency. Okay, be honest with what happens in your body, right? Let it guide you into the emotion that comes up naturally. And that's what Eileen Dillon is talking about. We'll talk about her a little later because I want to highlight the ladies who joined us for volume one and volume two. But super important, right? Super good resource. And Cecile helps people talk about racism and different difficult stories. And the reason she's had the opportunity to have as much experience as she has and has done it so well for so long is because she lets people get into their bodies first, right? So she, I think, is a perfect person from our community to be talking about this for volume two. For our other author that you know and love, that's Coach Co. So what I love about Co is her voice, right? She's from New Orleans. Sometimes she talks with the accent, sometimes she doesn't, but what she always is real, telling you the stories. So when Christine showed you where we were on Amazon, you might have seen we already have 14 comments, right? And people are already talking about Coach Co's chapters. That's what they did in the first volume. And in this volume, guys, she actually has two. So shout out to our authors who have two chapters this volume. That's also something we did different. And on that list is Christine, right? So while Christine talks to our other authors and gets some of our community everything they need, that's what she does, right? And one of her chapters is environmental wellness. And with Christine, Women Connected in Wisdom, and even Manifestation Mondays, and ladies know that we've met for the past 6 years, right? Christine is that person in an environment that connects people to resources, that make sure they have the link, make sure they have this person's contact information, and environmental wellness, that's important. And for the volume, she's talking about outside. And you guys know Christine has been talking all year about Texas and the farm and driving back and forth, road trips. And that's what she shares with us in a beautiful way with the way that you write is so poetic and you can tell you're a poet, right? And so you're talking about the drive, right? The car ride in Texas and the different women who connected the resources to make that happen. One of our first ladies. So that story is beautiful. And she also talks about physical wellness, y'all. So me and Christine are both physical wellness experts now. And she's talking about dancing. She's a mover and shaker. And you guys know that. She's been national platforms this year, helping internationally with Interplay, helping internationally with Women Connected in Wisdom. And so moving through your body and like she's talking about, even supporting it maybe when it's feeling like it doesn't want to move. And how we do that is what she's talking about in this book. So shout out to all of our volume one authors that have joined us for this volume two.
Right? It's so
Yeah.
exciting. I was thinking about it because, we have more people on the list for volume three than we have for volume one and volume two combined.
Yes.
Because in some ways this year, I mean, it was just indicative of the year, right? Because we had so many
Literally.
people that said, yes, I want to do this and I don't
Hmm.
have capacity or I'm not able to, or, it
Yeah.
is we always think about women connecting wisdom community as a little microcosm of what's going on in the world, and we kind of know what's going on in the world with the people that we're connected to,
Yeah.
right? Which I think is true for everybody as we look around. And it's just been right, it's been a lot. And so grateful to be doing it in community. One of our authors has just joined us, so I must have done something right to get the
You've done a lot right. We're at volume two.
Oh,
We're launching.
right,
Okay.
right. So
Yes.
I'm gonna pull Cecile up here to say hi. Here comes
Oh, and
Yay!
Rayleigh, it's a party. Hey,
It's a
ladies.
party.
Hey y'all.
Good
Hello,
Hey,
morning.
good
volume two
morning.
authors. Good morning. How are you?
Good,
Excited.
good.
Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Well, happy launch day. All right.
Right?
Woo.
We were just talking about our volume one authors that returned for volume two. So, Cecile, we just gave you a shout out on your chapter and being part. And what I didn't say was that you were also part of the editing team, crucial
Ah,
part. Right. So, thank you for everything you've done. And Rayleigh, super excited to have you here with us for volume two.
Excited to be here and thank you. Nice to meet you, Cecile.
nice to meet you too. We're LinkedIn, connected on LinkedIn, but hadn't
Right.
met in person.
That's right. Oh, amazing.
Mhm. And what I
Cecile. Ray Lee came to our community through Dr. Cynthia Phelps, who was one of our Volume 1 authors,
Yeah.
and they live close by in Asheville, North Carolina. And
Okay.
it's just the beauty of how this works, y'all. Like, people start connecting to each other, and then you're like, oh, you've got to meet so and so. Oh, you've got to be part of this. And it all kind of weaves in together, which is how our stories worked, both in Volume 1 and now in Volume 2. How
Mhm.
they weave in so beautifully. Rayleigh and I were having this conversation the other day about almost all of our authors can speak to every dimension of wellness because it's a part of who we are and what we do. And they all say something different. And most of them say some of the same stuff because a lot of these truths are universal, right?
Mhm.
It's how do we put our voice on it? How do we put our lived experience on it? How do we put our take, right? And what are our resources? So
Mhm.
Rayleigh, do you want to tell folks like who you are and what you do and what you wrote about this volume?
For sure. So, my name's Rayleigh Dushin. I'm an author, poet, speaker, and healer, as I like to say, but we're all healers. And I guess my movement and part of the chapter is reclaiming that identity ancestrally and spiritually. And really looking into how spiritual wellness is in every dimension of our life and every moment and every breath. And I share just a snippet of my journey of what it looks like in my head, I guess, poetically, in a way that can maybe resonate with the other voices of women who are on this journey of love and adventure and meditation and healing and self-development. Um, yeah, and it's not a love story. It's not about that at all. But it's about seeing the divine in myself and reflected around me in the people that were present with me, and Shannon who called me. She's mentioned in the story,
Yes.
and just the synchronicities that have to come into play in the divine orchestration of people through purpose, and how it all coalesces into this beautiful orchestration of life. Um, it's just a beautiful journey. It's a story. Um, and that's what I got to share, and I'm thankful, and I hope it resonates with someone, and yeah, it helps reclaim the identity of self, but the reclamation of that self within you. You know, what is your story? What is that voice that's calling to you? And if you follow it, where will it take you? And what is the beautiful adventure that, is waiting for you on the other side of it?
Oh,
Beautiful.
I love that, really.
Mhm.
And I want to go to Cecile, but Coach Co has just joined us, and she is a teacher, and it looks
Hey,
like a
Co.
playground. So I want to pop her in while we have a moment. Coach Co!
Hey,
Hey.
There you
how
Happy
go.
y'all
launch
doing?
day. Good.
I am trying to sneak and say hi on launch day while my kids are not paying attention to me, which is not going to be that long. Hi,
Welcome.
authors.
Hello, beautiful. We were telling them about you being a volume one and a volume two author, your two chapters, and how the reviews are already going crazy about how real and relatable your story is. What do you want to say
Mhm.
about it while you have time?
I mean, first of all, I'm very thankful and grateful that you guys, gave me the opportunity to write two chapters. I was really thankful for that. So thank you so much for that. I was really honored. And I just, want to thank people for even reading because we're all so
Mhm.
busy. Life is so crazy. So the fact that people actually went and was like, I want to read this right now is amazing.
Mhm.
And also, I wrote those two chapters from the heart. That's what happened in my life. That's what's really going on. That's the realness of it. There was no lies, no fabrication. It was just all authentic, and that's all I could do is be real. That's just Coach Cole.
I love it. And I have a question for you real quick. When you say be real, it reminds me of what I wanted to ask you when you knew, okay, I'm trying to be an Atlanta entrepreneur, right? I'm out here, I'm trying to do it full time. I need to be realistic though. You talk about that. What did that
Hmm.
look like with you being real with yourself that you help people with like through your life coaching?
I think that when, like when we started doing our trainings, I started to understand that I never had those SMART goals that we always discuss. And it was kind of a post reflection moment where I was like, nah, I didn't really have it together. So it's like moving forward, I could think about how many mistakes I made from not having those SMART goals intact. And then it was like, I think it was more so during COVID when I got the call to be a substitute teacher. And I realized that I had to take it because I had to take care of me, and what I was doing wasn't enough, and it wasn't taking care of me. So it was like you could continue to be a starving artist just for the sake of being one, or you can do what God says and go and chase the opportunity that you've been given, because you got the call. Like, I didn't call them, they called me. So it was like, you know.
Yep. Yes. Yes, I do. And look like everybody else knew. They lit up. They say, "Yep, yep, you got the call." Rayleigh and I were talking about that recently. So I hear what you're saying. And I
Hmm.
love that it's $10. If you would have gotten the resource somewhere else, maybe it would have been more than $10. So yeah, the SMART goals, we could talk about it. We could talk a lot about that. Thank you
Yeah,
for sharing.
the $10 was a blessing, and it was also like a rendition or like a little synopsis of Dave Ramsey's course. So it
Hmm.
wasn't like something that they just slapped together and was like, "Oh, we gonna just help y'all be know how to manage your money." It was actually a part of Dave Ramsey's course, and we know that his courses aren't cheap.
Right.
So I was really thankful for the $10. Okay.
Beautiful. Hello. I'm with you.
Yes.
I'm with you. Okay, Cecile, to you. I know you had some stuff to say, some things to shout out, and things we wanted to highlight. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. When
Um,
Rayleigh's talking about it's not about a love story, I thought about you. And that's how I felt about you, the divine connection when I first met you. I said, "Oh, people pronouncing her name wrong? Oh no. I got you, Cecile. No
right,
problem. That's easy. We can fix that right now." I'm here for you though. I'm listening.
right. Well, I wanted to say when I read Rayleigh's chapter, I was trying. I it was so different, and I was trying to figure out how to describe it. But it sounds like flowers, if that makes sense. Her chapter sounds like flowers. And then when I was reading Coach Ko's chapter, she has a such a unique way of telling her story. She is just so real. So I was really glad. I'm glad as an editor that I got to see it, sneak peek to see those.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then in my chapter it's called, what is it called?
Let your body be your guide.
Let your body be your guide. So in my
Yes.
chapter I'm talking about how if you listen to your body wisdom, if you pay attention to what your body's telling you, and you stay grounded in your body, then you actually have more capacity to handle the things that are coming at you, especially to handle things like tough discussions. Because y'all know I talk about anti-oppression. That's my thing, anti-oppression work. And I have the 4-step plan, but the first step is self-care and getting in your body. You got to do that before you start talking about the hard stuff, because that's what makes it easier to talk about the hard stuff and then to make the changes you want to make.
Yes. Yep.
Hmm.
And for me, what just came up when you said that too is me holding my non-negotiables, right? That
Hmm.
sometimes things can change and they will without us knowing. That's what we're talking about, right? Emergencies and different things move. But
Hmm.
when I hold my non-negotiables and I know I'm going to drink water, I know I'm going to eat, I know I'm going to take care of myself, like it
Hmm.
makes it easier to have the capacity to shift and be flexible. But if I don't hold my non-negotiables, then it's like that might be a day where I'm like, no, actually, no, I don't want it. But you could have just went with the flow, because
Hmm.
I felt like I wasn't being taken care of. But did you take care of yourself? Did you start with getting into your own body and making sure that you were grounded? And it also
Hmm.
reminds me of I've been thinking about buddy work and serving, right? And what I would
Mhm,
teach the staffs with buddy work, the first step is being self-sufficient. If you are
mhm,
okay, people have to help you less, right? Because you're not
right,
pulling on for everything. But if you are
mhm,
off on your phone in the back and everybody's taking care of your tables well, now, yeah, they're going to be upset that they have to help you because you didn't make sure that you had what you needed. So I love that you
mhm,
start with get centered and take a deep breath so that we can have the
mhm.
capacity.
Yeah, and I'll also say that sometimes you need help to get centered. Sometimes you can't just take a deep breath and get in your body. Sometimes you have to call on a friend to say, "I'm really trying to get grounded and it's not working," and you need somebody to help you get there. So that's okay too.
Let's talk through that. And we've talked about at the Glow Club meetups, people's need to learn how to ask for help, right?
Mhm,
So, what does it look like? Because you're let your body be your guide, right? So, what does it
mhm,
look like when you can't get grounded? And then, what is like you gave just an example of it, but some verbiage where you would call somebody, say, "Hey, I need help." What would that person do over the phone if they're not physically with you?
They might breathe with me, because well, this has happened more than once where I've been talking to someone and they're like, "Girl, you always telling people to breathe through your belly." So let me breathe with you. And so we'll do some breathing exercises, or they'll do like a visualizing meditation, or they just remind me. They're like, "You got this. You have the tools, and I'm just going to stay on the phone with you while you choose the one that works for you so that you don't feel by yourself."
I love
So,
that.
mhm.
I've been thinking about the day we were all at the studio recording for volume 2, the audiobook we're getting ready for,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I saw
Mhm.
you outside with your shoes off, and I was so excited. I said, "Let me hurry up and take my shoes off so I can finally be in the grass with Cecile," because we're always in a different state, you know? So
Mhm.
I hear you on the buddy work. It's been good. And
Yeah.
Christine and I buddy work on a weekly basis, right, to get stuff done, and that helps. And
Mhm.
Coach Cole and I have been body doubling on another day. So I think it helps with grounding, with I specifically, Coach, so you know, choose the things that I'm like procrastinating to get done. So I try not
Mhm.
to do the easy things when I'm on the phone with
Right.
you. I try to do like you remember the day I changed it. I was like, no, let me be honest. This is what I need to do. Let me change the task I'm about to work on so I can be most effective.
Shannon, can I
Mhm.
say a little one two before I hop off before the
Of
kids
course.
start coming to tackle me?
Please.
I just want to definitely give a huge shout out to Cecile, because Cecile is that chick right there. She's that chick for the stuff. I mean, honestly, we had our hiccups and so much things. The enemy tried to definitely do stir up so much confusion, distractions, and just everything and possibilities. So Cecile came through in the clutch. Shannon came through in the clutch. Christine was like, "We got it," So I just, just all of you guys did, stepped up in ways that you needed to. So I'm super proud to be a part of this project with you guys. And
Yes.
Cecile, thank you for hearing my voice. So it's like sometimes you can say that about a person through whatever they write in their manifesto or anything like that. But to see somebody do that in action is a whole different thing. So Cecile, I was like, I need my voice to be heard, and she was like, I got you, and it was done, and that's what I like
Nice.
to hear. Okay, so I appreciate it. An email was sent. It was like this. Text went back and forth. We got it done. So that's how you work. That's how you keep women in connected moving, by being able to reach out and say something I don't like it, or something I do like it, I love it, and be able to communicate and let that flow through the way that it needs to flow. So that's why I love being connected.
Yes. I love it.
Thank you so
You,
much.
Coach Go, for taking time out of your busy day to join us. We love your chapters. We love your voice. We love your resources that you give to our readers. Like, what a incredible, as always. Like that. That's one of the things I love about this collaboration.
Stop telling people things like that. Look it out.
Not like, real time, doing it all, real time. I love it.
Bye. Thank
Bye,
you so
Coach
much.
Co.
See you
Have
guys
a
next
good
time.
one.
Bye.
Have a great
Okay.
day. So, one of the things I love about this volume and volume one is not only are our authors authentic and they tell their stories in their voice, but they give our readers and our listeners resources that are actionable. Like, how do you do this? How do what helps? What helped on our journeys? What helps with other people's journeys? Like, what? Because I think that's what so many people need is like, hey, I want this or I want to do this, but how do I do it? Right. And sometimes, we all heard growing up, it's the people that you know. Like
Mhm.
sometimes and that's what Women Connected and Wisdom is about, is like being connected. And it's not like being connected to people that, I mean, we definitely have some superstars in our crew, some of them on the screen, but
Mhm.
it's a being connected on an authentic level. And who do you know, right? Who do you know that knows how to do that? And if we don't know, we know somebody that does. And having those resources at our fingertips, I think, is important.
Mhm. And what comes up when you say that, and Rayleigh, this reminds me of our conversation too about it not being just about Amazon bestseller, right? Like definitely superstars. We're super troopers showing up for the people who need us to show up, showing up through, God bless you, showing up through difficult situations. You're welcome. And what I think about when I think about being in the people business and working with the teams I've worked with, right, is that people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. And the best way to connect people to the resources is knowing exactly what they need. And so, first, before Cecile can share her amazing expertise and all the things we both shared about what she does on the call, if I say her name wrong, I could it's not gonna be as smooth as it could have been, you know what I mean? And so that's the resources being connected as quickly, absolutely. And I'm saying all this to say sometimes it doesn't have to be the long relationships. You know, I met somebody the other day at a market at a table in the neighborhood and connected me immediately. And now there's two events. But I shared with her Women Connected in Wisdom. You know, she heard part of the story. She knows how much I care, the people connected care. And so because of that, she felt compelled to then connect, you know. Um, and that's really what it's about. Not just if you're a superstar, you treat people crazy. You don't have to be part of Women Connected in Wisdom. You can have your own platform. We'll cheer you on from the sidelines, you know, in your intentional dimensional wellness. But if you want to connect with people and you care about people, you care about your self care and your community care, and that's the pillars that we talk about, right? Let's do it together and yeah, connect each other to the resources so we can have the longevity that we're looking forward to and the sustainability that we want to have in this healthy environment. Yeah.
We all, I am paying attention to time and I don't want to rush us, but I want to tell folks what we're doing here again today because you're going to see us popping up a couple of times throughout the day.
Mm,
Today is our launch day for Women Connected in Wisdom Volume 2 Stories and Resources Rooted in the Eight Dimensions of Wellness. And we're excited to let you know that the book is available for purchase today. We put a link in the comments. We're going to be showing up and talking to different authors throughout the day. We're going to be telling you where we're at. We'd love your help and support in
mm.
getting to be Amazon bestseller status today. We're currently sitting at about 88.
Okay.
Um,
That's
so
pretty
what
high though.
right? We're in the top 100. So that's always
Hey.
when you start the day.
Okay.
So just share with your friends, share the link. It is on sale today for $1.99. That will be the lowest price it's going to be.
Mhm.
We'll be there today and tomorrow, and then that price will probably go up. And we are just grateful for all the support, all the
Mhm.
people in our lives. Big shout out because
Yes.
behind every author is somebody who is listening to them and
Mhm.
supporting them
Mhm.
and helping them make it to deadline because anybody
Yes.
out there that has the dream of writing a book, if you've done it, you know. Like like this baby you nurture and you carry around, and there is labor involved in getting this baby out into the world. And we are really proud of this baby. She's a beautiful baby. Thanks.
It's
Shout
beautiful.
out to our cover designer, Marla Durden, who is also one of our authors, that we're excited to share this with y'all. I
Yeah.
know that, yeah, it's a big deal. So I want to check in real quick with Cecile and Rayleigh before we get off, Shannon. How are
Yeah.
you feeling today? Rayleigh, this is your first one. Cecile, this is your second one. How are you feeling?
I can share. I feel like a nervous excitement. I've been trying to train my brain to say that whenever I'm feeling anxious, I'm actually excited about something really huge that's important to me,
Yes.
instead of feeling like a train wreck. But no, it's. I was telling Shannon the other night. It's fully walking in my identity, my true self, my authentic self that I've chosen, and I've shared the chapter with people, and I'm like coming out as, here's who I am, here's finally my voice. And yeah, it is taking a lot of bravery to do that. And I'm honoring myself in this process, and then I'm just gently receiving the feedback from people writing to me, and really trying to teach myself to receive, like really receive what people have to say, because the amount of work it has taken to become a writer, and uh, in a professional realm, has taken so much deep inner work, but also the work I put in over the years. It's finally here, and it's accumulated into this moment. So it's a day of celebration that I need to really see, and take a moment to appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Cecile, what about you?
I am surprised that I am not as nervous as I was the first time. I thought I was going to be just as nervous, but I am I'm excited and feeling like I've done this once before, so I've done it
Mhm.
once before, so it's not so bad. I kind of know what to expect, and so I'm very excited, but I'm also kind of settled at the same time because it doesn't feel like I don't know what's happening, I don't know what's coming next. I kind of know what's coming, and I'm ready just to let everybody know that it's out there so that we can become number one
Right.
on Amazon again.
Yes. Yes, it's on the way. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
love it.
And
Christine, what
I'm
about you?
excited. Oh,
Excuse me.
sorry.
No,
I was
please
gonna say
finish.
I'm excited to share like a second story. When I was thinking about being part of the second book, I was like, I already shared my story, but then when I thought about it, I was like, no, I've got several stories to share. So, I'm excited to share a different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
And could definitely keep sharing in different volumes and so much to it, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely. Christine, what were you about to say?
Oh, I was just thinking, so excited for this group. So excited because, one of our values and our purpose when we started the podcast and then when we did volume 1 and volume 2 is uplifting women's voices, especially voices that have been traditionally oppressed. So when we lift them up on the podcast, audio wise, and then when we lift them up in print, and like this is something, I mean, what I get excited about books, of course, first of all, I'm just a nerd. That's one thing. But you know, this is something that once you're an author, and this is my third book that I'm launching today, like that's forever, right? Like it is, and I'm so just delighted for all of us, right? And I love these stories. I love the authenticity of them. I love the resources. I love the people. And I'm just excited to celebrate and have a moment. And also reminding us of our own practices, right? That we are in the midst of this launch, which is a lot of work. Like anybody that's ever done one, it's a lot of work. And to remember to take that deep breath and to dance and to celebrate and to say, like, yeah, we did a thing, y'all. We did a thing. And it's and we hang out with authors. So sometimes it's you do that comparison is the thief of joy. Sometimes like someone's like, but it's a thing. It's a thing that we have done and that we've created together. And really just proud of everybody that's been a part of it. And grateful for our listeners and our readers and everybody that's been cheering us along. That it is definitely something that it takes a village. And we have an incredible village and an incredible support system. And just really feeling grateful for that. What about you, Shannon?
Yeah. The same, I feel like the same as all three, right? Because definitely excited, but calmer than last time. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll do it. We can move it at this time. I see how it'll fit, even if it doesn't happen the way it was planned the first time, right? It makes sense. Um, Definitely feeling like a professional coming out story. And people like, so when did you start writing books? Like they're like, you write books for real now? Like, when did you start doing this? I thought you were talking about shrimp and fish or psychology. Like, it's actually all of it. It's hospitality and making sure people have what they need and training people and making sure that they're taken care of on an individual basis, you know? So seeing that the things I've done before, even being an RA on Kennesaw's campus is like having Zooms and meetings and stuff. So it's beautiful the way things fall together, you know? And now coming to a place where, like Co was talking about, I can help you with the smart steps. You know, I might not know everything. I might plug you into an expert who knows more specifically. If we can't get to the specific goal, you need to be with another expert. And super grateful to be building that community, you know, and not just have to lean on my personal friends who are amazing, but they might not have all these different skill sets, which is why I needed more community and why I was also looking intentionally for the different dimensions of wellness I wanted to strengthen. So to be able to continue to write my story, like Cecile, you were saying in volume 2, was really important to me to make sure that I covered it because it was what I wanted to write in volume 1. But volume 1 needed to be my story, right? If we talk about lifespan and grieving, if I only get one volume, it had to be me. It couldn't be my parents' story, right? Now, volume 2 is okay, well, my mom's story is a big part of my story. Me not knowing her for 12 years and being connected to the resources I felt like I needed as a woman has always been vitally important. I knew I might not get that at home with my single Black father who was adopted, and we didn't know his parents. There's me and my dad in this family, so being connected has always been very intentional. And so to be able to take that from Birmingham, Alabama, and Hiram, Georgia, to Alexandria, Egypt, and North Carolina, Virginia, California, Canada has been amazing. And I'm super honored for the opportunity and grateful to not have to do it by myself. Grateful for you as a business partner, Christine, and Sino as a business partner who's helping us put our audiobooks together. And it's a beautiful story. So grateful, excited, again, transition as a professional, excited for the opportunity to do that as a young Black woman and come into publishing and product manufacturing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the impact of how the stories help benefit people's wellness.
Yeah. Well, y'all, I'm so grateful to talk to y'all and see y'all today. We're going to be jumping back on here a little later
Mhm.
this afternoon. You'll see
When's
us.
our next time?
I believe on next
3:30.
time. There you go.
Gotcha.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
Few classes to teach in between there and a
Yeah.
few fun things to do. But again, we just appreciate you being with us on this journey. If you have questions, let us know in the comments. And we'll be dancing with y'all all day long today. So
Dancing and celebrating.
in here, and
Hey.
we look forward to checking in a little later.
Yes. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Peace.
Bye.
you.
Thank you, ladies.